Welcome everybody to Too Legit to Crit, a tabletop role-playing podcast hosted by two guys whose presence makes time slow down to combat rounds.
And it's not just because we're reading spell descriptions either.
No, it's because we are insanely boring.
I'm going to go with it's because I've got so much like gravity in my voice that time slows down around me. It's like a time dilation when you're in my presence.
Yeah, that was incredibly boring.
Fuck you.
My name is John Santana.
I am still Justin.
How are we doing, good buddy? You okay?
I am very good today, man. I've just been working, and trying to organize a session with people. What about yourself?
Well, I've spent more money.
Oh, for fuck's sake, John.
Well, to be fair, Humble Bundle kind of guilted me into it. You know, I think I was checking another bundle and this one came up and it says, there's only 3 hours left.
And you're like, well, I would be rude not to.
I mean, there was 3 hours left. I mean, there was a ticking clock. But this one will actually interest you.
Oh?
Okay, so it cost me £14. A whopping £14, all right? So for that £14, I got the core rulebook for the Fallout RPG.
Okay.
I also got the core rulebook for the Dishonored RPG.
Okay.
Both with a few supplements. But the part of it that is going to interest you is that there is a substantial amount of STL files.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm not going to use them.
But what a coinkydink. I happen to have 2 3D printers with nothing to print at the moment.
Yeah, so you are welcome to them.
I would appreciate them greatly.
I was having a look and like some of the files like 1 point something gig.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual regular size is for STL files and whatnot. So I don't know if
varies.
That's a substantial amount or not.
It varies. That is quite a lot, though.
But yeah, so they are, from what I can tell, they are STL files that are published by Modifius for these particular games. So, if you're interested, they're all yours.
I would gladly print a few of those, because there's probably even going to be like some display pieces as well in that. And even if there isn't, you can always scale a model up and turn it into a display piece.
Quite possibly. I don't have a clue. I've not even bothered looking at them because there is no point.
Definitely dive into that head first. That sounds awesome.
Cool. Other news, I ran a Pathfinder Society scenario on Saturday, a new venue. Mm-hmm. I went really well. The venue is awesome.
That's cool. What was the words? English. I speak it. Was it a venue near us or
Hockley?
Oh, okay. So not. Oh, of course. Yes, you did. You mentioned that.
Yeah, Wayland Games in Hockley.
Because we discussed it.
I walked in, introduced myself, said I've had a table reserved, and the first thing the girl says to me was, yeah, if you need terrain, there you go. You've got a wall full of it.
Yep.
I was like, ooh. Not that I use terrain, but...
It's like playing at my house.
Yeah, it's not that I use terrain, and plus the scenario I was running was all inside.
Yeah.
So I don't think they've got much tabletop role-playing terrain.
Yeah.
So they won't have much in the way of walls and stuff like that. But they did have, all the wargaming stuff. So at some point I might take them up on that.
Yeah, man. It's definitely, we used to have one of their stores in the high street as well.
I remember.
And I spent a ridiculous amount of time there. And it's where I actually discovered a tabletop game that I wasn't terrible at because it didn't rely on dice rolls.
Okay.
It was a game called Malifaux.
I've been hearing that a lot.
It's so good, dude. So basically, Malifaux it's all card based. So it uses a standard deck of playing cards, right?
Right.
So you could actually play it with you could take a standard deck of playing cards and play the game, because it's a bit like like how they've done like deck of many things equivalents to a standard deck of playing cards, so you don't have to go out and get a special deck, all that sort of thing. But it's literally done with a standard deck of playing cards, but they also have like their own like playing cards, where you get like concept art and stuff like that on the cards as well. So instead of just having like the King of Hearts, it's like specific to whatever faction you're playing, and stuff like that. So it was a really cool system, and the minis as well were really detailed. I loved putting them together. They were just so good, and yeah, it was a brilliant system. I really enjoyed it. And I kind of miss playing it because I made a lot of good friends playing that.
Well, I mean, there were so many people there on Saturday playing war games. I don't know which ones were Malifaux. I don't know which ones were 40k. I've no idea.
Yeah, so I mean, there was also another like war game that I picked up there was X-Wing, which, I mean, does what it says on the tin. It's a war game involving like starships and stuff from the Star Wars world, which was also a really, really cool system, and the way they handled it was really cool. Like, because obviously it was flight and there was like momentum, and you could like invert your ship because you had like a firing cone for where your guns were and all that sort of thing. Like, it was just a really, really, really well put together system.
Yeah, I remember that store being in the high street and having popped in a couple of times, and they had this sort of philosophy that the more they badgered you, the more they'd sell. So I'd go in like potentially looking to spend money, and all of a sudden someone would come up, "Yep, can I help you?" No, I'm all right, thank you very much. And then literally 5 minutes later, someone else, "Yeah, can I help you?" Like, no, I'm good, still good, thank you. And it got to the point where it's just like, if I don't leave now, I am going to tell someone to fuck off.
I think that's the same for any like small retail store though, right? Because they have more staff than they have customers, so it can be difficult to find something to do in those situations, I guess.
It's not, I think it's just a lack of
awareness as well.
A lack of awareness and a lack of sort of thought where you can kind of go, okay, this person's been asked, when you kind of go to your colleagues and just go, look, just asked him, he's fine, leave him alone.
Yeah.
You know, instead they'll have probably got out the company rule book, and it's like, you've got to ask every single customer. I mean, we used to have it in some of the places I worked in the service industry.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you've always got to ask. You've always got to ask. It's like, no.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've worked in retail a lot over the years, and it was definitely something that we used to try and avoid. So before approaching anyone, we would generally have a quick, has anyone spoken to? No? Okay. No. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go and have a chat. To kind of prevent that, because it is a frustrating thing. I think as well, it was definitely one of those stores that once they knew you, they tended to leave you to your own devices. So, for example, like if I went in there, they would only speak to me if I approached them first, or if they had a question for me. Because, I mean, well, you know how my brain works with rules and all that goodness, right?
Yeah.
So there'd be quite a few times where they would clarify a rule with me for something like Malifaux, because it wasn't something that was played very often. So they would, we happen to have somebody in the store who has learned all the rules because he read them once. So they would tend to leave me to my own devices when I went in there, because they knew that if I wanted something, I would just ask them for it. So it's one of those sort of situations, I guess.
Yeah, I remember it happening to a local watering hole that we're both very familiar with.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And I think it just had come under new management. And I went in there with a couple of friends, again, mutual friends, and have a couple of drinks and something to eat. And it got to the point where the guy that was being the waiter that day came up to ask us if everything was all right literally every 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
To the point that it became a joke.
Yeah.
Like every time we'd go in there and this guy was there, we'd do it on purpose. You all right? You okay though? Everything all right? And it took him fucking ages to clock on to what we were doing.
Yeah.
But it was just one of these things. Well, yeah, he's obviously been told to do it, but not been told to think.
Yeah, see, I think that's as well some of the problem, right? Is a lot of the younger folk, and also some of the older ones who've kind of checked out, right? I'm gonna be fair about it. There is people on both ends of the spectrum doing this, but like especially like for their first job, if they've been told you need to speak to every customer and make sure they're okay, or you need to acknowledge every customer when you go past their table or something like that, because I know there was a time where that was like the rule, right? So if it's like your first job or something and you've been told, right, every customer you walk past, you need to acknowledge them. You don't have that thought process yet of, well, that's stupid. I'm not going to do that, because you're 12 and you don't want to lose your job, you know? And then as you get a bit older, when somebody says that to you, 2-3 jobs down the line and you've experienced life a little bit and you're like, well, that's fucking stupid. I'm not doing that.
When we had it in one of the places I worked where they wanted us to answer the phone with, hello, you've reached whatever company, John speaking, how may I help you today? And when I was told this, I just turned around to the manager and went, nah.
Yeah, no, just no.
Well, you can try make me do that, but good luck.
Yeah. No, I think the most people used to get out of me on the phones when I was answering a phone at any of the retail places I worked was I would literally just say, like, name of the store, South End. That was it.
That's all you need.
Exactly. They just need to know they've got through to the right store. They don't give a shit who you are. Let's be honest, they don't, right? Like when I'm going into Curry's or something to buy a TV, as much as I get on with a lot of the sales guys there, because I do know some of them from when I used to work there, right? I don't care if his name is Dave, Steve, Bob, Jenny, Jane. I don't give a fuck. I just want my TV so I can go home and watch TV.
Yeah, but I'm like that with a store as well. If I go in, I don't want a conversation.
No, I just want to buy what I came to buy and fuck off.
Yeah, I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to talk about the fucking weather.
Dude, I don't even do that with my friends.
Like, it's lovely weather out there today. Yeah, how's my coffee coming along?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd much rather get served by somebody with the face like a slapped arse.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to fucking be where they are.
Yeah.
And I will relate to that person and I will give them a fucking tip. You'll be like, yeah, you've done really well. Thank you very much.
I'm starting to think maybe we're the problem, though.
I walk in there and it's just like, hello, welcome to so-and-so. What would you like? I want this. Here's what you've ordered. It's going to be this much. I give them the money. That is the end of our friendship.
It reminds me of that that one joke from what's the name? That ventriloquist, Jeff Dunham, when his old man puppet Walter, and he says he wants to be a greeter at Walmart, and he's like, oh, well, what's your greeting going to be? It's like, welcome to Walmart. Get your shit and get out.
Have you ever seen Idiocracy?
No, I keep meaning to watch it, but it's just it's never. They
go to Costco, and there's literally someone at the door just going, "Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you." It's fucking brilliant.
Oh, that's so good.
But speaking of sales,
Oh, nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you very much. There is a cosmic horror sale on.
Okay.
And it is on Drive-Thru RPG. Now, this has, it's
tickled your fancy.
It's tickled more than my fancy, sweetheart.
It's tickled your pickle.
So, yeah, they have got a lot of content here for decent prices. The Alien RPG. I
see some Delta Green content.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. The only thing is I do like physical Delta Green books, so...
I see a few Delta Greens, actually.
I think I've got most of them.
I've seen 4 of them already, and I'm only on the top half of them.
Alien RPG, core rulebook.
Yeah, a lot of that on there as well.
$18, $19, basically. I'm definitely going to be going through this. Because it does look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not my cup of tea. I've never been a big fan of horror games, but I do like some of the games that are in that space, right? Like I've got some board games that fit into that space. Like I've got I can never remember which way around it is because me and Couch both have one of them. And then the other one has the other. One of us has Betrayal in the House on the Hill, and the other one has, it's something Mansion. I could just have a look. Oh, Mansions of Madness. That's the one I've got. Yeah, I just had a look over at my board game shelf, which are very like Cthulhu-esque like style board games.
Yeah.
Which I really like those kind of board games, but I just feel I don't know. I've never really been big on the horror genre myself. But I know a lot of people who are very into it, yourself being one of them.
I am indeed. And it's odd because I'm not a massive horror fan. I don't, horror movies, they don't interest me. Horror literature, tiny bit more. But horror games, I just love the atmosphere that I can create.
Yeah.
And you've played Delta Green with me.
I have. I like Delta Green, but I think it's because the I'm very much a mechanics person when it comes to systems, and I like the mechanics of Delta Green because they're very logical, right?
Yes.
It's just you want to do that? Yeah, do it. Like there's none of this. You want to do that? Okay, well, I guess that would be we could maybe roll that. I guess it was a possibility. Like, there's none of that, and I really like that in a system.
Yeah, it's got a very sort of straightforward philosophy behind it. You've got skills that you're trained in,
and
but if you're not trained, you can just roll abilities at a penalty.
Exactly.
Which, it's
like real life.
I do love that system.
It's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, there will be more Delta Green on the way.
I mean, I know I've said it a fair few times at this point on the show, but it's the one and only time I've had a character die or even be close to death and been like, you know what? Fair.
That was funny. Man.
It was so good. But yeah. No, I've been getting into my board games a lot recently, actually. There's so many out there I want to get.
Well, speaking of character deaths.
Yeah.
Pathfinder Gallowspire Survivors, which I predict is going to contain a lot of character deaths.
I mean, with a name like Survivors, yeah.
Gives you a bit of a hint.
Yes.
Is going to... It's launched into early access.
On September 14th.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So...
I've before my birthday.
Signed up for that, so...
I think I signed up for it as well.
I'd definitely be giving that a go, providing I can play it on my system.
I may or may not have a week off shortly after that.
Oh, well, then there you go.
Well, it's my birthday, isn't it? For like a few days after it comes out. So I'll book that whole week off for birthday gaming. Because I'm just going to be playing games the whole week. I'm not going to lie.
Fair enough. It's like, I'm going to be sat at home doing fucking.
I keep telling people, people are like, oh, you've got a whole week off for your birthday. People at work and stuff. They're like, oh, what are you going to do for that whole week off that you've booked off? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll probably just get a lot of stuff done, see some friends, go visit some places. No, I'm going to sit in my pants all day playing video games. That's the plan.
Yeah. I had a fantastic day with the kids on my birthday,
Mhm.
and then the rest of it was like, yeah,
Yep. Video games. But yeah, no, I am looking forward to that though. I just checked on my Steam. I have whacked that into my library. So as soon as it is available, or not my library, my wish list, and as soon as it's available, I will be hopping on that.
definitely looking forward to that.
It will be pretty good. But speaking of new things, see how I did that?
No, I was good.
So on D&D Beyond, the partnered content section has been added, which is it looks like it's going to be where they're planning to house all of that third-party marketplace that Wizards promised. It looks like they're starting to build that out, and they're starting to build it at home on D&D Beyond now, which is pretty cool. So they've created the section called partnered content on D&D Beyond now, and it's got 6 titles in there already. So 3 of them are Critical Role source books. There's also some of the older stuff like Rick and Morty, the Minecraft stuff, because they had books for those already. So those already existed in D&D Beyond, but now they've got their own third-party section. So it looks like they are starting to make good on their promise, which is pretty good.
That's cool. And all you have to do is sacrifice your firstborn.
False. I still have my firstborn. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but you haven't added anything to D&D Beyond.
It's because I don't create anything good enough for D&D Beyond.
I'm sure you can.
We'll see. You'd have to have a soul first. I don't have one. I got rid of it years ago.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, yeah.
So, insert interesting segue here.
That was amazing. That's the best segue we've ever had.
I think it is. I definitely think it is. But Free League's Dragonbane RPG is out now. And you know it's going to be good because it is Free League. Who, I mean, just happen to win awards every fucking year.
I'm just looking at the like art on the main front page bit of like the duck jumping down with like a rogue.
It's phenomenal.
I love that. Do you know what it gives me vibes of? Like
Darkwing Duck or
Darkwing Duck. I was literally about to say Darkwing Duck, but like if it was like a fantasy, like more gritty version, right?
Yeah, definitely. So it is the new edition of Scandinavia's first and biggest tabletop RPG, Drakar och Demoner. And it has been... I'm
so glad you read that one. I wouldn't have even made an attempt at that.
And it has been officially released. So there is a quick start guide.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We do love a quick start guide.
The PDF version of the game can be found at Drive-Thru RPG. Content modules are available on Foundry. And the quick start is available for free via the official website and at Drive-Thru RPG. So yeah, that's going to be... I'm going to have a look at that.
Ooh, I was just reading as well. So on the post that they've made for it, they invite all creators to design and publish your own supplements for Dragonbane using their third-party license. So like, interesting. Let's have a look at what that license lets you do, shall we? It lets you put... so if you're making it specifically for this game in the system, right? So it's not like one of those that it's like you can't do it if it's system agnostic. You can do it. It has to be specific. You can put a supplement for Dragonbane logo onto your work, so it would look like it's official, basically, which is quite cool. Obviously, there's going to be rules about what you can and can't do, I'm sure.
Yeah, I imagine it's the typical mechanics.
But it's not a massive document. It's only a 2-page document, their license.
Yeah, but the OGL wasn't a massive document.
But I'm not going to read through it now.
Like, the original OGL wasn't massive. It kind of used to fit on the back of a Pathfinder book.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I think licenses now are a bit more expanse and have a bit more nuance to them.
Yeah, because they've got to be careful how they word things now.
Exactly. I wonder why. I've for the life of me, I do not know why.
I'm none the wiser, mate. Absolutely none the wiser. I wouldn't have a Scooby.
So I have just got the quick start guide and I am now downloading it. While you've been talking, that's what I've been doing.
Oh, brilliant.
So I shall be looking at that tonight. It may go on the list. Plus, I need to expand our list because I've got so many systems now that I have not played. So, a lot of the Free League stuff's going on there anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Because, I've got a lot of the Free League stuff, like Humble Bundles, that have 46 page for the quick start.
That's not bad. That's a pretty comprehensive quick start.
Yeah, it's quite good. The basic rules. 6 playing. I would definitely go down this rabbit hole right now.
Speaking of rabbit holes.
Ooh. Salty.
Do you know where rabbit holes generally are?
In the ground?
And do you know what comes out of the ground?
Rabbits from rabbit holes?
And mushrooms.
Ah, mushrooms.
Speaking of mushrooms, that was a segue to a segue, motherfucker.
That was good. That was
Dolmenwood. So obviously we spoke about this previously.
We did.
And there is some new information about it.
I am intrigued.
As am I. Basically, they have kicked things off over on their Kickstarter. See what I did there? Because I believe last time we spoke about it, things were getting ready to kick off. You are
unstoppable today.
I know, right? And obviously, we had a little look through it, and they have oh, no, we did look at this before. They've absolutely smashed their goal, though.
$1 million, isn't it?
Well, over $1 million.
Now?
It's over $1 million at this point. It's approaching 1.2 million of their $200,000 goal. It's almost £1 million.
Good for them, man.
Yeah, they've done really well. And yeah, it's such a good looking bundle, though. But I digress. The actual news that we have for them is, wow, this is a really complex bit of thing. So the Kickstarter will be ending in a couple of weeks, about 2 weeks' time. September 8th it ends. And they will start shipping out all of their books. So there are 3 physical books, which they will start producing very soon. And be delivering it in September of next year. So they've started to give dates on when people can start expecting things.
Yeah, I'm just looking through it now. So there is a campaign book, which is 460 plus pages. Mm-hmm. All the rules that a referee needs to portray the world to a group of adventurers. Also delves into the cultures and societies of Dolmenwood through the 7 major factions. Some of these function as you would expect from a medieval fantasy setting, but also include covens of wood witches, a chaos godling named Atanwe, and the Cold Prince of Fairies. It does sound interesting. It sounds...
Well, they've also got a whole bunch of tables in one of the books that has 200 locations, 280 different NPCs, and 250 rumors to help you with world building.
Nice. And it's old school essentials. Have you ever played like any of the OSR stuff?
I've played 5e and Pathfinder, dude. You know this. Why are you setting me up for failure?
Just to kind of get a conversation. Plus, it makes me feel less bad for not having played any of it.
You know I've played 5e and Pathfinder. That is it. No, I haven't, is the short answer. But I would be intrigued to.
Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with the OSE system, it's one of the more popular RPG systems in the old school revival. Tradition that takes plenty of cues from the intentionally difficult early days of Dungeons and Dragons. Characters comprise the 6 classic stats. Adventures often involve navigating deadly traps and deadlier combat encounters, and player knowledge and teamwork are paramount to survival. People gonna die.
Yeah. So it sounds perfect for you.
It does. And I would like to play like an OSR game. Just it's finding a GM to run them.
Yeah. So we're taking offers out there, folks.
Yeah, if anybody wants to run something like that, then I'll happily play.
I would like to give it a go because I think it's important that we go back to our roots every once in a while to remember how far we've come.
I'm sensing a segue.
No, that was actually just a genuine thing.
Ah, no, really?
Yeah, that was.
Okay.
I was just genuinely saying that I think every once in a while it's good to look at where the hobby was and where it is now.
Yeah, and speaking of going back to our roots, roots in the earth. There are 2 new cults of RuneQuest titles out now: the Lightbringers and the Earth Goddesses.
Oh my god, that was bad even by our standards.
No, that was silly. That was fantastic. So, RuneQuest. I'm not going to ask you if you've played it because the answer's going to be no.
Yeah, you know the answer's no.
I haven't played it either. But apparently I do know people who have, and one of the things they say about it is the level of detail that they put into these cults and their world building is staggering. So yeah, Cults of the RuneQuest Lightbringers is the second book in the new Cults of the RuneQuest source book series. So they're actually bringing out books
just for cults.
Just for cults.
Wow.
That's madness. That's world building.
Earth Goddess is the 3rd book in the new Cults of the RuneQuest sourcebook series.
And they each of them have like in the Earth Goddess one there's like 16 cults, and the other one there's 19.
Yeah, wow. That's a lot of world building.
That's huge.
Yeah. Wow.
I think we need to. Yeah, so to the person who's going to run us through some OSR stuff.
You're going to run us through that as well.
RuneQuest. Yeah, we want to give RuneQuest a bit of a go.
Because that is a lot of world building.
Yeah, it's huge. Because I'm used to obviously like Pathfinder, which they'll bring a substantial book out.
Yeah.
For a particular. Maybe city or region or group or something like that. Whereas this is they're bringing out books and books and books for
just for the cults in there. That's a lot.
It is.
That's a lot of work.
It is, and it does beg the question of how hard it will be to keep up with. But. You never know.
Or in our case, how much are we ignoring?
I honestly can't be dealing with more systems now until I start playing. I am going to make a vow. I will not invest in another new system until I've played one of the ones I've already got.
You fucking liar.
I solemnly vow. Now, I can invest in systems I've already invested in. So I can buy me more books of Delta Green or more Pathfinder books, but yeah, I will not invest in. Except for Coyote and Crow, I want to buy that.
So you make a vow and then immediately have an exception.
Yeah, but that's just the only exception. That's like the exception.
What about Tales of the Valiant?
I've already paid for that, so doesn't count. Coyote and Crow won prizes, dude. That
I know it did. It did. So. It really did.
Yeah. So Coyote and Crow doesn't count, and plus the vow starts now.
Did you have that pause because you were clicking purchase on several baskets quickly?
No, if I had the money, I would. If I had the money, that's exactly what
it starts.
Click, 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 click.
Now.
Starts. 1 second. 1 second. Ah, for fuck's sake, verification.
Just loading.
1 second. 1 second.
CV code.
Yes, it is me, for fuck's sake.
Just gotta make a phone call quickly. Yes, bank. Yes, I'm spending that money.
Yes, I authorised that payment.
Yes.
Now.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so except for Chaos and Crow, I solemnly vow to at least play one of the systems I've got before buying another one.
I'm just waiting for us to report on something next week, and you can be like, "Oh, I bought it."
It's going to be the new Dragon Ball game based on the Cypher system with Delta Green influences. I'm going to be like, motherfucker!
But like, no. Yeah, it takes you through the entire Boo like story arc, and yeah, it's all Delta Green, and
I'll be knocking at your door, right, bitch? We're going to play a fucking game.
You'll be sending me the money so I can buy it for you.
Dude, it's 2 a.m. Shut the fuck up and get your dice. We're going to play some fucking Simba Room.
Oh my gosh.
I've got a problem.
Yeah, no shit. We both do. Except mine's board games. I've got... there's so many board games I've put on my shopping cart.
See, I don't have that problem. I've just got tabletop role-playing games.
Honestly, no, I love a board game.
Oh, yeah, on Saturday they had the One Ring in the shop.
Yeah. Did you buy it?
Like, no, I didn't. I couldn't afford it.
No, that's a shame.
Actually, because I wanted to buy it, does that kind of bypass without...
No One Ring for you.
No One Ring for you.
You get 2 rings, no One Ring.
Alright, so between now and the 16th of September, when we go back to that store, I'm going to have played one of these systems. So
just so you can buy it.
So do you fancy some Tales from the Loop on Sunday?
Oh, maybe. We'll see. Actually, I am free Sunday, so that could work.
Ooh, okay. Well, it's looking like my regular game may be light. So I was going to run some Cypher, but Tales from the Loop, or Simba Room, or hey, Dishonored. You like roguey shit?
I do like roguey shit. That is true.
Dishonored is very roguey shit, I think. I bought it. I have no idea what it's about. I know it's based on a video game.
You've got such a problem.
It's based on a video game. That's
all you know.
There was a video game that you were kind of like this rogue with magical powers. That's what I know about Dishonored. So I'm assuming it's the same thing. But dude,
I don't even know.
14 quid, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good price.
Yeah, my digital library's getting fucking ridiculous.
But yeah, well.
So yeah, we'll have to do that one night.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. When we're not recording, podcast.
Exactly. And
speaking of podcasts.
I was going to say, speaking of nights.
Oh, both of the segues work for the same story.
That was an alley-oop. I set it up.
It really was.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh. So there seems to be a new trend emerging. And by new, I mean it's been going around a while.
Yeah, it has. Like the one that's kind of come up on our radar is Welcome to the Night Vale.
Yes.
So it's heading to tabletop from the makers of the Power Rangers RPG.
Which I want to play at some point.
Yeah, me too.
I just want to be a Power Ranger, man. I just want to be a Power Ranger.
So the makers of the Transformers and Power Rangers RPGs.
Yeah.
So they're going to be running, they're going to create a tabletop role-playing game based off the long-running fiction podcast Welcome to the Night Vale. There's not that much information about it because it is it's like recently just even been mentioned.
Yeah.
But the company is working with the co-creators Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranart in some capacity on the adaptations. For over a decade, Jeffrey and I have been building the world of Night Vale with our podcast, touring live shows and novels. Now we cannot wait for people to finally get to step into that world themselves and start telling their own stories about a weird little desert town.
It does sound pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm going to have to listen to this podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you are right in the fact that it seems to be a bit of a trend where podcasts are now becoming the inspiration for a lot of RPG systems and settings and expansions, because we've recently covered the Lost Mountain Saga, which is going to be a supplement for Vesson from Free League, and that is based off Eleanor De Lorenzo's podcast. And also coming to the Cypher system, which I'm a huge fan of.
Oh, really? I hadn't noticed.
No, yeah, huge fan. Great system.
Never would have guessed.
We'll have to play that as well, but that doesn't count to the vow because I've already played it.
You've already played it, yeah.
Well, no, actually, technically. I've played Numenera, which is based on the Cypher system.
Would it count if I've never played it?
I'm going to say yes. Because it benefits me.
No, I think this one's up to the viewers. So you guys get to decide, right? We're going to put a poll up on the Facebook page after this episode. No, I'm putting a poll up on the Facebook group after this episode goes live, right? Actually, no, I'll probably do it tomorrow to give people a chance to listen, right? Of whether me playing one of the systems that I haven't played that John already has invested in counts and lifts his vow.
Listeners.
We're going to put up a...
Man. You know it makes sense. You know it makes sense.
See, the thing is, I know a lot of our friends are in that group and they will say no just to piss you off. So I'm very happy with this.
But then we have a lot of our friends in that group that will say yes to piss
just to piss me off. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So probably balance out, actually. Yeah.
That's an even split.
Yeah, it's going to balance out.
Then there's going to be the people who are quite literally sort of unbiased, which will have an opinion.
And then there'll be the ones that are so biased that they can't vote because they want to piss both of us off. Chris and Couch, I'm looking at you both.
Yes, it's all going to be all about pissing us off, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be great.
So, yeah, but the Old Gods of Appalachia, that is another one that's based off of a podcast. And I'm sure there are more out there.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, Critical Role.
Yeah.
Everything they do, they're bringing out a system for, apparently.
Yep.
So, do you think at some point we could do one based on Too Legit to Crit?
Sure, why not?
What the fuck would that look like?
We would use cards and dice, because I feel like that would be a fun thing to do.
All right, yeah. Okay, cards and dice. So, similar to the Fate system, then. Not Fate, Savage Worlds, sorry.
Never played it, but sure, why not? Wait, is that one that you've got invested in and I've never played?
No, I haven't got it. I'm not invested in that.
That's a shame.
I was looking at it for my homebrew world, but the whole card mechanic kind of... it didn't grab me as
cards,
much.
Man. I like cards.
So essentially, you use dice to kind of resolve most things, but initiative is card-based.
Oh, interesting. I personally would do that the other way around.
Yeah, I struggle with that, to be honest. But,
I'll figure it out.
In Too Legit to Crit the RPG, there will be both dice and cards.
Dice and cards, yep. I reckon it would be some kind of high fantasy steampunky world. Because I feel like that ticks both our boxes.
Yeah, possibly with horror elements.
Obviously, yeah. You know.
So it could, so high fantasy steampunk.
Yep.
With horror elements.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm starting to envision
or
this
maybe it's a post Eldritch horror world, right? So some kind of Eldritch horror has like destroyed the planet, and now it's like some steampunky residual magic world.
It's eerily similar to my homebrew that I'm creating. Yeah,
No fucking way.
mine's more like... Well, essentially, the thing I submitted for Tales of the Valiant was the seed for this idea. So essentially, it will be a post-apocalyptic. Something will have happened, ruin the world, etc., etc. However, there will be pockets of civilization, and over the course of thousands of years, these pockets have evolved independently. So each pocket will be a completely different setting.
Okay, so
the first one I'm
Star Trek, but instead of different planets, it's just different cities.
Yeah, different cities, and the first one I'm working on is going to be a city that is created from an underground bunker that people went into to survive. Expanded, and that's going to be cyberpunk.
I like it. I'm in it. I'm invested. I will build out an NPC for you.
Cool.
His name will be
Dustin.
No, I was going to go with just one. So JUST and then one.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Yeah, I like it.
Or steal just one. It can be a gang member, and his nickname's Steel. So it'll be Steel Justin.
Oh, it's brilliant. I love it. Yeah. But I could see that world like being very much us, right? Because I think it very much encapsulates what we're all about. Some kind of post-Eldritch horror world where there's like residual magic. So magic might not be all that common.
Yeah, I'm vibing it so far, and I think the setting should be placed in a war between the couches and the sci-fis.
The couches of Saran Wrap.
The couches of Saran Wrap.
Yeah.
Yes. And the sci-fis, which are kind of like a newer group.
Yeah, but they used to be they used to have a different name, and then they changed it.
Yeah, definitely. That would work.
And all they did was change the spelling. Reference to the Sci-Fi Channel or Sci-Fi Channel, depending on how you pronounce it.
And also, I think characters should get bonuses for segues.
Absolutely.
Or they should ride segways.
No, we don't have initiative. It's segue order.
Yeah.
It's how powerful your segue is. Determines who goes first.
Yeah, that's it. How powerful the segue is.
And you don't roll for that. You have to make a segue into combat, and whoever has the best segue decided by the DM goes first.
Yeah, I like it. I do like it. The DM can just like stand there and shake his head disapprovingly.
It'll be amazing. But yeah, I'm game for that.
Yeah, I think that sounds quite fun. I think
I'd be on board.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of other things, like other aspects of this game. So we've got cards and dice. Okay, so we do need a rough system. Yes. So
just build our own system. Fuck it.
Yeah, but that's it. That's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to. This is happening, my dude. All right, so I'm thinking maybe cards for the attacks and skills, and then the dice for damage.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, you roll to hit. Okay, you draw a card.
So you draw a card, higher card wins.
Exactly, yeah, so you draw a card,
so it's not just a card to attack, the other person is drawing a card to defend.
Yes.
And if they draw a card higher than yours by a certain amount, they get to counter.
Oh, dude, we should be writing this shit down.
Would you not be really good if we were recording this? That'd be really, really good. Oh, wait! Dumb fuck.
That was not my brightest moment.
We should be making notes. We're recording it.
That was not my brightest moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've felt better about myself.
Oh.
Yes, listening.
That amount that you have to beat for the counter is determined by a stat. So it's not like a fixed amount. It's not like just beat it by 10 or anything like that. It's
how do you say? How do you? Okay. Delve into that.
Well, so like in, like, so for example, in 5e, monks get an ability where they can deflect missiles, right?
Right.
So if they beat that's probably the best one. So they have to beat the amount of damage coming in by, or they just have to beat it, right? So they're rolling a dex check against the damage, and they have to beat it, and they can deflect the arrow back at you.
Right.
So, but that's then determined by their dexterity, what they have to roll to, or what card they would have to draw to beat that, right? So if your dexterity is, say, I don't know, a 3, right? You have to beat them by 6. So you have to double the dexterity.
Okay.
Or whatever the difference in dexterity would be. Right.
Right. Okay.
So, something like that. So that it's not just like, it's not going to happen very often, but when it does happen, it's going to be fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm liking that, and I think on a picture card you should pull. On a picture card, you pull a second card.
Oh, I like that.
So that would be your crit function.
Maybe not a picture card, on an ace.
Right. Okay. So on an ace,
there's what, like three picture cards per suit. So there's 12 of them in a deck. You're going to pull them quite often.
Okay. So
there's only 4 aces. So I think ace on an ace. Because it's an ace. It's a crit. It's an ace.
But, our ace is high?
Yes.
Yeah? Ace is always high.
Ace is always high.
So you can never pull a 1?
No.
Essentially?
No.
Alright, okay, so ace always high.
Because fuck rolling ones.
Okay,
so I like cards.
Damage dice will always be 2 dice then.
Yes. There is no ones in this system.
No ones allowed in this game.
You can't even get to 1 HP. You die at 2 HP.
No, you go from 2 directly to 0.
2 to 0. There's no 1. There is no. It's like the number 1 does not exist.
It's like those buildings that don't have a floor 13.
Yeah, they just go 12, 14. Yeah,
12, 14. It'll be the same thing. We go from 2 to 0.
There is no ones.
No,
obviously
or you could just say when you reach 2, you're unconscious. When you reach 0, you're dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That could be it. So when you reach 2, you're unconscious. 1 is your destabilizing, and 0 is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I
think we've actually, like, it started as a joke.
It's actually turning into a thing.
But it's actually turned into a thing. So So.
Oh. Yeah, I guess we're going to have meetings after this to start putting this together.
Yeah, we're going to have to start right. Yeah, we're going to have to start. We are going to start writing this.
We're going to start. Yeah, we are. We are absolutely. So, for those of you out there that are listening now and thinking, "Oh, that'd be really cool," this is actually like we've talked ourselves into this. Now this is going to happen. We're going to build this.
I'll start. What I'll do is I'll probably at some point during this weekend, I'll write sort of like a 1-page.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of quick rules digest, like the basic mechanics.
Yeah.
All this that we've talked about between, the sort of card pulling, the damage and all that.
Oh, everyone pulls from the same deck. So it's not a deck each.
Okay. So obviously everyone pulls from the same deck. Once it's gone, reshuffle.
Yeah.
Back in the middle.
Yeah. So no, every round you reshuffle. I like that. So for each round of combat or each round of whatever, everyone pulls, and then you reshuffle at the end of the round. So you can at most have 4 crits in a round.
Okay. Yeah. Because if not, like if in one round 4 aces are pulled, that's it. There's no more crits for the rest of the combat.
Exactly.
So your idea kind of works.
Yeah. So yeah.
I do think we kind of need to revisit the initiative, though, because if we are going to do this properly...
Yeah, no, segue
is not going to work.
As great as that is, it won't work. We'll revisit that.
We will revisit that.
Maybe you get a segue bonus, right? If you have a great segue, you get to roll advantage. Or draw with advantage. You draw 2 cards.
That's hard to codify, though, isn't it?
No. You make a segue, and if your DM thinks it's a good segue, you get advantage. It's DM discretion.
Exactly. I want to have rules. I don't want, to bring out an unfinished product and then just go, oh, DM discretion.
What are we, Wizards of the Coast?
Exactly.
I couldn't resist that one.
And I'm proud of you.
Oh, I'm not. That was bad.
I'm very proud of you because you've told the truth.
Oh, dude, it's not just them though. It's any video game company these days as well.
But yeah, definitely. I'm liking this idea, to be honest.
Dude, so do I. And it oddly enough, and this was not a planned segue, but it's worked out really nicely. This whole topic has led me brilliantly into the question I received from Sci-Fi. One of our factions has submitted a question. And his location is, sorry, was attacked last week, because obviously we didn't have a question from him last week. He was in the Mushroom Grotto and he was attacked, but he made it out alive, so that's good to hear. Having to proceed more cautiously now, and he's using a piece of the mushroom as a light source.
Ooh, I'm definitely invested in this story.
So am I. It's going very well.
I actually, Sci-Fi was at my table on Saturday, and I did say, dude, we need the story. Where the fuck is it?
Yeah. Do you know what this story as well could be? It could be the origin of the Sci-Fi faction.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've just,
Yeah.
definitely. I felt movement down there.
Anyway, on to his question. When you build a homebrew, convenient.
Very convenient.
How much detail do you put into each element? Do you add things like political situation, etc., etc.?
Oh, that is good. That is very good.
It's a very good question.
For me, it depends on what's relevant.
Yes.
If I am building a side quest or something like that where the political climate is important, then yes, I do kind of focus on that. However, if that political element is just a footnote, then I focus more on the important things.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think there are definitely going to be some like factions or whatever that I'm going to flesh out a lot more. Like, for example, in the campaign I'm writing at the moment, the Big Bad Evil has their own, faction and cult following and all that sort of thing. So that faction I'm building out with a crap ton of detail because it's the core element of the story, right? But the town that they visit in the first session that they're probably going to go to for one session, am I going to build out the entire political climate there? Probably not. So yeah, I think it definitely depends on what's relevant. Yeah,
and I always kind of leave myself room to improvise as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, say if I'm designing a town and there's a couple of different factions, I will just write a quick footnote.
Yeah.
Okay, so this faction belongs to the Thieves Guild or something like that. Mm-hmm. They are interested in, obviously, profit.
It's run by Dave.
And then if it becomes relevant through play, at least I've got footnotes
you got a
where I
starting
can
point.
say, oh yeah, they've got their base down in the sewer system, and things that I hadn't written down initially, but I've got it there. And as I'm saying these things, I'm making notes,
typing furiously.
Reginald is the leader, okay, and and I'll just come up with anything off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But it will become a relevant point. It will become something that is fleshed out.
I think as well, something that you touched on there that is really important when you do start doing those on the fly fleshing out is make a note of it somewhere that you're going to be able to keep track of it. So if you do have something like Obsidian, which I will now join John in talking up because it's fucking amazing. You start to flesh that out, you're adding in, the NPCs and all the details around those NPCs. You're linking all that together so that should, 2, 3, 4, 5 months down the line, one of your players decides to go, oh, do you know who we should get in touch with? Dave, that ran that Thieves Guild faction back in that city that one time that we got on quite well with. He would probably be able to help us out in this situation. So you're not having to then go, oh, fuck, what did I say about that guy?
Yeah,
So-
I mean, case in point, I've just done a full village for the current sort of arc that my players are going through in my homebrew campaign, and I have done. It's only a small village, so I've done 32 NPCs.
Yeah.
All individuals, all got their own description, their own personalities. I've done families as well. So this person's married to this person. They've got this kid. And, that is all.
Fucking old Bartholomew's twat.
Because they're all, on data, like using data view, I've managed to give them, add tags to them that they belong in this city or in this village.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, remember that person we met in that village? I just bring up that
village. Yeah, exactly.
Do a data view query and bang,
job done.
All the NPCs are there.
Exactly. Yeah. I've got so from the Obsidian plugins that I've installed, I've actually got an NPC database, and one of the fields in that is the town that they're in or that they're from.
Yeah, I've done that as well.
Yeah, which is just great because you can literally just click on that and it takes you to the page you've got for the village as well for all your notes around that village, which is great. So so make notes of any stuff that you make up on the fly, guys. Make notes.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm pointing at my screen right now, and my screen is an analog for all of you listening. Make notes.
Okay, you've just been pointed at, people.
Yeah.
Okay, I know it's rude. It's rude to point. So write in and tell him that.
It was important. It was important.
How rude he's being. He's pointing.
It was important. I'm sorry, that was so bad. Right, moving on. Swiftly, please.
Right, so, I'm kind of struggling with that, to be honest. Okay, so, next question on the couch today is from that thing you have in your house that you relax on. And it is written to us from in front of a Fabula Ultimate rulebook.
It's true. It's very true. He's been telling me about it all week. He's very excited.
Me too. I'm excited to play. I'm excited for Couch to GM because
dude, it sounds
really
so good.
GM.
It sounds so good.
And this is his wheelhouse.
This is literally this system was built for him because from what he's told me, it's not like here is a very strict world. It's like no. Anime trope. Just build an anime trope. Have fun. And then just got the mechanics of how to do that. It's going to be so good. He's going to have a fucking blast.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. So, he asks, going further than NPCs, where do you start with your big bad evil guy? Would you go backstory or start with motivations? How does the process work for you?
Personally, I don't start with any of that. My big bad evil guy will tend to start out as just the entity that wants to complete the evil thing that the players are trying to stop. And then I work backwards from there. So yeah, I don't really have a strict method for building them. It's going to depend on what their evil intention is, in air quotes. And then, I just kind of build backwards from there with whatever would make sense. So I guess probably motivations then, because it's what motivated them to want to do that, I guess. So maybe motivations would be my starting point, thinking about it.
For me, it would be neither. I do also work backwards. My campaign kind of starts, my campaign process starts at the very end and then kind of work back to, right, okay, now they are currently here, they need to get to here, how do they do that?
Yeah.
So what I first think of is what the final confrontation will look like.
Yeah.
That is the first thing that comes into my mind. And it's normally sort of a very cinematic thought process. what would look fucking cool? What would look amazing? What would really, really sort of drive this moment in time? From there, I go to, right, so I've got what that's going to look like. Why is that happening? So why is that? What has caused this final confrontation to happen? And then from the what, it goes to the who.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is behind this? And then you kind of go, why are they behind this? And what is the reasoning? So in terms of when it gets to the big bad, it's definitely motivation first, but there are a couple of steps before that.
Yeah, so that's the same as me then, really. Because that's kind of how I've done it as well. So I also start off with the sort of their end goal is this, so that's going to determine where that final battle takes place. And then how did we get there? And then I work. Yeah. So yeah, very similar process in that regard then. So I guess when we actually get to the big bad evil, it seems to be motivation.
Yeah, definitely motivation. Because
I guess that's the most important part, right? Is you need to know why they're doing it before you can flesh out anything else about them.
Yeah, and not only that, but it's the part that is relevant to the players.
Yeah.
Not every group is going to kind of go, okay, so what was his childhood like?
Yeah, most players don't give a shit.
They're going to go, okay, why does he want to accomplish this? He wants to accomplish this for ultimate power. That's enough for me to want to stop him.
Yeah. Why is he trying to unleash this on our plane of existence?
What was his home life like? Did he have problems with his wife that day? Exactly. And I mean, that doesn't always come up.
Yeah.
And I know this because every sort of Pathfinder adventure path module, blah, 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 there is always this massive blurb about these evil creatures, and it is why they are
the way that they are.
The way that they are. And I don't think in all the years I've been playing and running Pathfinder has anyone actually investigated that.
Well, I know what I'm doing next time we play a game.
So, what are their motivators? Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, before we, deal with this guy, how's he feeling?
But I mean, it's like, it's oftentimes like a couple of pages long. Like in Skulls and Shackles, you remember Barnabas Harrigan? He was the captain.
Oh yes, yeah.
There was literally about 4 pages of how he was born in, I can't remember the place, but and then sort of press ganged and etc., and how he grew up as a pirate, etc. There was all this sort of backstory, which, to be honest,
not one of us asked about.
But you didn't have a chance to either.
Yeah.
Because had you have got to the point where you faced him, it would have been, okay, so
let's roll initiative.
Walk through this door, you see Barnabas Harrigan, he's going to turn around and say, you've come far enough, etc., etc., and what are you guys going to do? None of you are going to kind of go, yeah, but why?
Whoa. 5 minutes. My guy, what are you doing?
Dude, let's talk.
It just reminds me of, do you remember those old, what's the name of their beer? Was it the Grolsch adverts? That guy just goes, stop! What are you doing? That guy.
Just imagine, like, the party walks in, and you've got the bad guy there, and all of a sudden, the bard grabs a chair and turns it round and sits on it backwards.
Yeah, just goes,
and it's like,
buddy,
let's rap.
Buddy, guy, my friend. Come on, Tiger, take a seat.
Take a seat, let's talk this out.
There's a whole stepdad speech from, like, the 90s films. Come on, slugger, sit down.
Come on, champ. And playfully just, like, touches his chin with his fist.
Oh my gosh.
Did you not get the Christmas present you wanted when you were 5? Guess what I've got?
Becomes one of those, like, 90s feel-good films.
It's a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he's like recounts all his evil ways, and he's like, "I'm so sorry. I was just so upset because I didn't get my Barbie Playhouse when I was 7."
I think when the Too Legit to Crit RPG is, we've kickstarted it and we've made our million.
That's how it ends.
Yeah,
there is no combat.
We should create a publishing company because I do want to do a Hallmark Christmas movie RPG. Your character could be, a lawyer from a big city, or he could be a surgeon from a big city, or, and you go back to your hometown and have to learn the meaning of Christmas.
The worst thing is, I literally watched a film with Ryan Reynolds where that is the basic premise of it the other day.
Just Friends.
Yes.
What a funny fucking film.
So good. Oh my god. That's so funny.
When he's fucking singing All Out of Love at the beginning. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude, Ryan Reynolds has got, like, a direct, like, line to making me laugh. I don't know what it is. There's just that man can do no wrong apart from the film that we don't talk about.
Yeah, but to be fair, Anna Faris is also in that movie.
Yeah.
And she is just so fucking funny.
Yeah. She is good.
If you want to see another good Ryan Reynolds Anna Faris collaboration, check out Waiting.
Oh yeah, seen it. Love that film. It's amazing.
Brilliant film.
Dude, the game they play in that film is amazing. But anyway, I believe we have one more question.
We can't make an RPG out of that game.
I mean,
we could.
No, we can. We can never get published.
You can roll for the Batwing.
Roll for the goat. Anybody who hasn't seen that film is like, what the fuck are they talking about? Anyone who has seen that film is going to be pissing themselves laughing right now.
I mean, yeah, natural 20 is the goat. You get credit, you do.
It did the goat. Oh my god. Right, moving on. We have one more question, I believe.
Moving on, we have one more question. So did I find it? Okay, so this one is from Couch Reaper of Souls, who is a completely different person than the last question.
Right, yeah. Different couch.
Yeah, and he's right.
This one's from Sofa.
Exactly. One's a sofa, one's a couch.
Yeah, they're different, guys.
That could be another sort of faction.
Another faction, yeah. It's an offshoot of the couches.
Sofas, we got the couches, and we got the sci-fis.
The sci-fis. I love it.
Oh, no, instead of sci-fi, just sofas.
Love it. Yeah, couches, sofas.
Couches versus the sofas.
Yeah.
So he is writing to us from Traversing the Worlds Between. Is there any homebrew rules that started as a bit of fun that seemingly made their way into every game you've ever been in? Is there any you want to introduce that you haven't been able to yet? Rule of cool is a given.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say rule of cool, obviously. I think that anybody who worships Saran Ray worships Saran Wrap is a rule at my table now. Just absolutely and unequivocally, and yeah.
To be fair, that is something that carried over into my games massively.
That any skeleton is named Steve.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, all of these started in the same campaign. Other than that, not really. I mean, there's the ruling we discussed last week about using the sorcery point, the magic points instead of spell slots for 5e that I'm going to be using. But that's not really a homebrew rule because it is an official rule. It's just a variant rule. But other than that, not really for me that I can think of.
I'm trying to think of, I mean, obviously the whole Saran Ray thing.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I may have taken it a bit too far.
No such thing.
It's when after Scott's campaign and we were playing Rune Lords, one of the players decided to be a cleric as Saran Ray.
Oh no. The poor guy.
And they went to Magnimar, where his character was from.
Yeah.
And he goes, would I kind of know the chapel of Sarenrae? I went, yeah, of course you do. And, just give me, what's the main sort of priest or priestess's name? Mm-hmm. And he gave me her name, and I just ruined every single interaction. I just made her out to be this obnoxious druggie that, he'd walk in and she'd be like doing a line off a toilet seat and stuff like that. And he just went on and on to the point where he actually did a anchoring spell so he could always get back there, but he made sure that it was done in the courtyard. So then I just moved her antics into the courtyard. So every time he turned up, she'd be doing something completely off the fucking wall. And very random. And then that carried over into my Abomination Vaults game. We carried over into Pathfinder 2nd Edition because one of the players wanted to play a Cleric of Sarenrae.
Oh, no.
And the rest of the table went, nope, don't do it. Don't do it. No. He's going to fucking torture you. And so she changed her god.
Love it. I love it.
In Abomination Vault, which is like 2 games later, because it's an AP, there is a character in that who is a Cleric of Sarenrae. And I did the same sort of thing. It was every time they'd come, it'd be like, she's off her tits on pills dancing around with glow sticks and stuff like that. And I think the culmination came when the party walked in and she was enjoying a donkey show. And I felt that I'd peaked at that point because I don't think I could come up with anything funnier. So I've not done anything else since. But yeah, it's not so much a homebrew rule, but it is a homebrew practice, as it were. Yeah, that all stemmed from Scott's game. In terms of rule, I mean, anybody who's read my blog entries knows that I am not a massive fan of the rule of cool. For reasons, and if you're interested, go check out the blog. I'm not going to kind of go into that right now. But I don't know. I can't think of anything that is specific to my table, if that makes any sense.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be specific to a table, just any rule that's not in the book that you use regularly, I guess.
Well, it kind of does, because that would imply the homebrew thing. That would, so I don't think, I mean, in 1st edition, and this is probably taken from, it was taken from Glass Cannon, we started doing bottle caps.
Yes, I remember that.
Which
I've never got one.
Wait, now they're part of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, kind of.
Yeah.
They just haven't been implemented as well. So that I can't even claim that anymore, to be fair.
Yeah. No, yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess one of the rules, it's not really a rule, but it's something I do at my table, is I tend to give inspiration to whoever recaps the previous session.
Yeah, that could be my answer as well, to be honest.
Yeah, so I guess that because I always find it really important to get a player to recap rather than me recapping.
Yeah, I do the same.
Well, because I found very, very quickly when I started doing that they saw things very differently to how I saw things.
Yeah.
Because obviously we have the benefit being behind the screen, right? They don't. So yeah, I think it's very important because it's completely changed my plans at times, right? Because I thought that they'd interpreted something one way. They told me their recap of the previous session, and I've gone, oh, they saw that completely differently, and it let me completely tweak the story because somebody that I thought they'd clearly seen through and saw was probably a dodgy guy. All of them were thought he was pretty chill. And I was like, oh, interesting. Backstab incoming.
Now a dodgy person.
Exactly. So, it gave me And if I had done that recap and said, "Oh yeah, so you guys obviously met Dave, you thought he was a bit sketchy or whatever," they would have been like, "Oh, did we?"
Yeah, I mean, I started doing that in my Skulls and Shackles campaign. Again, for that very reason, because players interpret things differently than what you think you're putting out.
Yeah.
So it has also changed a lot of things in my games where I've kind of gone, oh, so they saw that like that. That could be better.
That's better, yeah.
and I've obviously made the necessary adjustments.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's probably the only thing I could think of, to be honest. And I'm sure later on tonight I'm going to go, oh, motherfucker.
This, yeah.
Because I will remember something.
It'll be when we're like, I'm sitting down playing a session like in a week or so's time. I'm gonna be like, oh wait, that's not an actual rule. I remember now. Because like a lot of them, I think we probably have got quite a few that are just so ingrained into how we play that you don't remember that they're actually a homebrew rule. Yeah,
that is true. That is true. And playing like multiple systems as well.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of sometimes, I guess, for you.
But I do believe that's all we've got time for tonight.
Indeed.
So I want to thank Couch and Sci-Fi for sending in some fantastic questions, getting us thinking. I want to thank you for spending some time with me.
Shucks.
Do you want to tell the people where they can find you on Tinterwebs?
Of course. So you lovely individuals and other people as well can find me over on most socials at Just Inaccurate TV and obviously over on our Facebook group.
As for me, you can find me on mastodondice.camp at Natural Juan. You can also find me on said Facebook group and on Instagram also at Natural Juan. So most importantly, thank you to everyone that's taken time out of their busy days to listen to two idiots waffle on about tabletop role-playing games.
We appreciate it
very much. Good night.